Now, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke to the European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen earlier today, and the two leaders discussed the prevailing Covid-19 situation in Europe and, of course, in India. Prime Minister Modi thanked the European Union for its strong support in battling the second wave of infections. He also discussed the upcoming India-EU virtual summit, saying that it would provide new momentum to the strategic partnership between the two. The EU president promised to stand in solidarity with India in controlling the second and more deadly wave. She also noted the rapid development of trade and investment between the two sides. The phone call further laid the groundwork for the upcoming India-EU summit on the 8th of May, and the meeting will involve the heads of all EU member nations, along with the EU Council leadership and, of course, the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Prime Minister Modi was expected to travel to Portugal to attend the summit in person, but his visit was cancelled after the second wave of infections hit India. This is the second time that the Indian and EU leaders are meeting virtually. Last year's proposed meet in Brussels was also cancelled during the first wave of infections, and the summit now aims to build strategic ties with a special focus on trade and investment. The EU has invoked its civil protection mechanism to mobilize medical aid for India, and it has promised to deliver some 700 oxygen concentrators to the country. One oxygen generator as well as 465 ventilators coming from Ireland, along with 9,000 doses of remdesivir and 75 oxygen cylinders coming from Romania. While Portugal has promised 5,000 plus vials of remdesivir and 20,000 litres of oxygen per week. Switzerland has pledged 120 ventilators, and some of these shipments have already arrived in India. Now, for more updates about this virtual meeting, WION's London Bureau Chief Mandy Clark is joining us live from London. Mandy, thanks so much for joining us on this broadcast. Let's start by talking about the medical aid and support coming from the European Union to India in light of the deadly second wave of infections. What further support can India expect in its time of crisis, according to the discussion between the two leaders?
Of course, that is the topic that was that started those conversations, and the EU pledged their as much support as they can provide. Of course, the urgent need is oxygen and ventilators, and so that was largely what was discussed: how to get that urgent aid to India as quick as possible, with many of those member countries offering as much support as they can. Of course, they've also focused on the long term of this wave. So right now there's the immediate need, but also looking into the weeks ahead, what will be their needs upcoming. So it wasn't just about the urgent need. Of course, that was the primary focus. It's also looking ahead to what India will be needed as a very important partner and friend with the EU in the coming weeks as it goes through this very horrendous wave of COVID-19.
Right. Now, Mandy, another important aspect of the virtual summit was, of course, the trade and investment flow between India and Europe. Give us more details about the same.
Well, what's interesting is the strategic partnership that's looking at investment in trade and digital infrastructure is almost seen as the opposite of China's Belt and Road project, and really strengthening those ties between the EU and India. And so they're really looking to push that forward. It's been a bit stalled for many obvious reasons. There has been a global pandemic, but really there's a real initiative to push these talks and move them forward in those areas of and trade, also sustainability, environmental projects, and really strengthening the ties between this very large bloc of nations and India. So there is now more impetus and momentum to really get them going. Of course, those talks are going to be happening next week, but it really earmarked that commitment to really further develop those plans of the strategic partnership.
Right. Mandy, my follow-up question to that as we wrap up our discussion, what can we expect from the upcoming India-EU summit on the 8th of May?
When it comes to that, the India-EU summit, we are looking for those further details. We're really looking into the tangible stuff that we can expect to see, those trade deals. We're hoping it has been a level of stalling that has happened. Of course, the EU has had a big problems itself. It has the distraction of Brexit that had taken it kind of off the global scale because it was fixing its internal structure. So it's the first time really where India and the EU are talking without the British member state, but there is a sense of renewal and movement going forward, and that's what we can expect to see. Hopefully concrete, tangible plans moving forward.
Right, Mandy, thank you so much for joining us on WION, and thank you for all your inputs on this story. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.